Hey everyone and welcome. So you're starting an aquaponics system? That is awesome! But there is one step you absolutely positively cannot skip, and that's called cycling. Today we're going to break down exactly how to build the invisible living engine that's going to make your entire system just come alive. I mean, look at it. You've got your tank, your grow bed, everything's all set up, and it looks perfect, right? But here's the million-dollar question. Even though it looks beautiful, is it actually a safe home for fish right now? Well, the surprising answer is no, not yet. And here's why. There's an unseen danger lurking in that crystal clear water. The second you add fish, they start doing what fish do, producing waste. And that waste releases ammonia. Now, in a brand new sterile system, that ammonia has nowhere to go. It just builds up, and it builds up fast, quickly becoming toxic and creating a really dangerous environment for your fish. Alright, so let's get into it. Here's our game plan. We're going to meet the microscopic heroes that solve this whole ammonia problem. Then we'll look at the two main ways you can get them established in your system. And finally, the big one. How to know for sure when your system is fully cycled and ready for action. So how do we fight back against this toxic waste problem? We build a biological filter. Think of it like a living engine, and it's powered by beneficial bacteria. This, my friends, is where the magic of the nitrogen cycle really comes into play. At its core, cycling is really just the process of growing these amazing bacteria. We're literally turning a sterile box of water into a balanced, living ecosystem. We're creating a little microbial team that takes that nasty fish waste and transforms it into the perfect fertilizer for your plants. Seriously, nothing in aquaponics works without these guys. And it's this brilliant two-step process. First, one group of bacteria, Nitrosomonas, shows up to feast on that toxic ammonia. They convert it into another compound called nitrite. Now here's the catch. Nitrite is also really toxic to fish, but its appearance is the signal that attracts our second team of heroes, Nitrobacter, who then convert that toxic nitrite into harmless nitrate, which is the 5-star meal your plants have been waiting for. Okay, so we get the goal now, right? We need to grow these bacteria, but how would we actually do it? Well, there are two main paths you can take to get this bacterial colony up and running. The with fish method and the fishless method. And this is a big decision. Cycling with fish might feel a little more natural, you know? You just add a few fish and let their waste kickstart the whole process. But, and this is a big but, it's incredibly stressful for them. The fishless method, on the other hand, is way safer and gives you total control, though it does mean you have to be a bit more hands-on with testing. Honestly, for this reason, most people in aquaponics really lean towards the fishless method. If you do decide to go with the with fish method, just know you're signing up for a bit of a challenge. It can be rewarding for sure, but your main job during this whole period is basically to be a guardian for those first fish. This quote really just sums it all up. Your fish are living in an environment that is, by definition, unstable and potentially toxic. And that means you have to be testing that water constantly. You might even have to do partial water changes just to keep the ammonia and nitrite levels from getting lethal, which, ironically, can actually slow the whole cycling process down. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. It's not just about how much ammonia is in the water, it's about the water conditions themselves. Check this out. Ammonia is way more toxic at a higher pH and in warmer water. So at a pH of 8, even a tiny amount, like half a part per million, can be super dangerous. But if you drop that pH down to 6.5, the fish can handle much, much higher levels. Knowing this is your best tool for keeping them safe. And look, your test kits are important, but your fish are the ultimate indicators. You have to watch them closely. Are they breathing super fast? Hiding all the time? Gasping for air at the surface? Do their colors look washed out? These are all classic signs of stress from bad water quality, and they're basically screaming at you that it's time to intervene right now. Okay, now for the other path, the fishless method. This approach takes all the guesswork and all the risk to your fish completely out of the equation. It's a much more scientific way to build up that biofilter. So instead of relying on fish waste, you're going to add a source of pure ammonia yourself. The goal is to get that ammonia concentration up to about 4 to 5 parts per million and keep it there. This provides a huge, consistent feast that attracts those beneficial bacteria and helps them grow a big, robust colony really, really fast. And the process follows a pretty predictable pattern. For the first week or two, you'll be adding ammonia, and you'll start to see its level drop as nitrites show up on your test. Then, as you keep adding ammonia, those nitrites are going to spike peak and then start to fall. That's your signal that the second type of bacteria has arrived at the party. Finally, after about 4 to 6 weeks, you hit the jackpot. You can add a full dose of ammonia and see both it and the nitrite completely disappear within 24 hours. So after all that waiting and all that testing, whether you went the fishless route or you carefully managed to cycle with fish, how do you know when you finally cross the finish line? Well, there are 3 very clear signs to look for. First things first, your system can process a full dose of ammonia all the way down to 0 within 24 hours. This is the proof that your first colony of beneficial bacteria is fully established, healthy, and hungry. Right on its heels, the second part of the engine kicks into high gear. At the exact same time your ammonia disappears, your nitrite level should also read 0. This is what confirms that the second bacterial colony is up to speed and handling its part of the job perfectly. And finally, the payoff. You'll see a detectable and probably rising level of nitrates in your water. This is the finished product. This is the proof that the entire 2-step conversion is complete and your system is now producing safe, delicious food for your plants. This right here is the golden rule. When you can consistently get this result, it means your biofilter is strong, your microbial engine is humming along beautifully, and your system is officially ready. It's time. Time to add your fish, plant your greens, and start your real aquaponics journey. Think about what you've just done. You have successfully cultivated an entire microscopic ecosystem completely from scratch. You've transformed sterile water into a thriving life support system. So the only question left is, with this powerful living engine that you built now up and running, what incredible things are you going to grow?